Hi everyone, it's Mary with a passion for paper. Welcome. Today we're going to do some crafting with these gorgeous digitals from Lorna at Tailor Made Journals. The name of the kit is Eternal something. I'll post it below in the description box. I'll link it as well, so you can just click right over there and take a look. I just think these angels are so beautiful. And again, it's Tailor Made Etsy shop, Tailor Made Journals Etsy. And I just want to share the images with you, and then we're going to make something with them. And I thought it would be fun if we just kind of worked on them together. So I cut some of these out. These were my favorite ones. There's plenty to choose from, so many beautiful images. And so I just printed them on regular 20-pound copy paper. And this is what they printed out as. And I just cut away the white. So you can see there were 4 to a page. And just regular, I didn't double side them or anything because I'm planning to glue them onto something else. So I just brought along a few little things I had in my stash here. I have a French book page that feels really great, and some vintage music paper, and some vintage French lace from Jaizella's Lavish Laces shop. I believe she has a sale still going on today. I purchased some beautiful additional laces from her on Friday, so I'm very excited to get those. And here's another really pretty little cover to a booklet or something. I just kind of been putting things together. This is some spackle on with the little stencil that I put on to this. This is sturdier paper. This is like mixed media paper. And I did this on fabric with coffee dye. I just sprayed coffee onto some previously coffee dyed fabric with a stencil. And I just thought this would make a really nice cover for a sweet little journal. And that's what I think we'll do, is make a little journal with this as the cover. I loved this one. I love the way this light is hitting it. And then hopefully we'll make something from this batch too. Stick around and we'll see what we get up to. Now this is beautiful vintage French book page, and it's nice and thick. It has a lovely patina. And I think I'm going to use this as a background. So I'll go ahead, and this is another little booklet I've been working on. And these are also just little pieces of things, little ephemera. So we'll see, maybe we'll put some of those on the inside of this book. And I just want to get a glue, something to, I always like to put something underneath when I've got my glue stick so I can push it out of the way. I'm going to glue this onto here. Okay. I usually use junk mail for this. Sorry if it's a little crazy looking in the background. I had a book that I was using book pages from, but I seem to have misplaced it. So I will use this. And I like it because you can just keep turning the pages as needed. Now this is the key part, and I'm sorry, I'm just gonna have to get right up close to it to see where I want to put it. I want the words to show around the edge. I want to make it nice and straight, so I actually take my glasses off and get right up there and use the eye. So here we go. Now I'm going to tear this a little, and then, because I think this is a little too big, so I'm just, and I also like the raggedy edge, so I'm going to tear this down and then tear this down. So how's everyone doing? I hope you're well. It's just been a little while since I've been able to sit and do some crafting, so I'm very happy to be making this video and having fun with these beautiful eternal guardians. That's the other word, eternal guardians. Just really excited about the way this is gonna look. And then I'm just eyeballing how much to tear off. I think we'll go right about there. So the other fun thing I just started doing is Duolingo on my phone, which I heard about recently from my sister who's doing Duolingo Spanish. And I said, you know, I am such a Francophile. I love everything French. I have all these French book pages. I should do that in French. So I just started it. I am on day 2 and started it yesterday. And so I've just been having a lot of fun with that. I took French back in college, and I think even 1 year of graduate school I took more French just because I love it so much. I didn't major in it or anything, but I love the French language. Sometimes I'll even just watch French movies because I love the sound of the language, and of course all the scenery and things if it's set in France. So anyway, I've been doing the Duolingo, and it gives you just these fun little questions, and you know, can set how many minutes you want to do it. Is it 5? Is it 10? Is it more? I just start with the 5, keep it fun, keep it light. And then it's just nice because you hear the language and the accent, the little voices, and click all your little answers. So I've just been really having a lot of fun with that. So I think this might look lovely on the inside cover right here. And then I might even make a pocket or a tuck or something out of that. Let's see. I also might want to put a little bit more on the front, perhaps some lace. That's a little bit unusual. Have a curved piece of lace. Let's see. So I have a whole little lace bucket here that we can look at. And it's so fun to try different things and just see what resonates. I think this would be a great piece to put along the edge. After we do the sewing, and I like to cover up the sewing with a piece of lace, and that's a beauty for that. And I have a few pieces that are still left from Jaizella Lavish Laces. I like to buy the vintage French lace from her Etsy shop, and I will also link that below. And I have laces from other places too. I've just been sourcing vintage lace for a long time. And I'll show you my huge bin of lace and fabric and ribbon and all sorts of goodies are in there. So it's on my list to try and get it organized a little bit more, but sometimes I just like to look through things, and if I get too organized then I don't feel like creating. I just don't want to mess it up, you know. It's kind of funny. So this is a piece, a remnant from a beautiful vintage wedding dress that I actually purchased at an auction. It was in one of the boxes that I bought, and I was very excited to have it. I've been using it a lot. Okay, I'm gonna have to focus here. What did I have here first? I kind of like that. Let's see. That's very interesting. go with that. And I'm using the art glitter glue, which has no glitter in it. If you're new here and wondering why they call it that, don't really know. But I do love the way it works, so just gonna put that on there. And then we'll just set that off to the side and let that dry. Maybe what I'll do is take a couple of these just cut out another one. Oh, here it says Eternal Guardians Tailor-Made Journals on Etsy. That's so helpful to have that little name there so you remember. The other thing I've been doing is putting, as I print out the digitals from the different creators, I've been putting them together in a little folder with a name on them so that I can remember, because I love to be able to say where they come from. So if somebody's watching, they can then go and find them. So that's been really helping me, because I used to try to remember them, you know, but after you start printing so many, it's almost impossible to go by memory. Now, I was thinking it'd be fun to make this little something, maybe kind of put her on the inside or over here. It's looking nice, because what I wanted to do is put this behind, have it kind of peeking out the side. And I love the rough edges. Like, I don't want to cut it straight. I just want it to be a little jaggedy. So it kind of adds to the shabby chic or the elegant kind of, you know, vintage look that I'm going for. Just see if there's anything in here. I do have a little bit of cheesecloth. This one I dyed with, see, I have it was this color originally, and then I dyed it with some tea. And I'm just kind of digging through here. I like this as well. And I also have some bigger pieces. Let's see if I could just layer some lace onto this page. This might be nice. I didn't know I had such a big piece. I tell you, when you know, spend some time away from your crafting desk, you kind of forget what you even have. So this is exciting. This I might even make into a page in the journal, because I'm really liking the big size of this. So I'm going to kind of cut it down around here. And again, I don't want it to be exact. I like it to hang over and be a little, you know, try to move the scissor a little in and out so I don't have that really straight line. And then we can now, the question is, do I want to make it a page, or do I want to put it as a background? Kind of liking it as a background. What do you think? This is fun, peeking out the side. If I did something like that, and then maybe I just want to try out some of this vintage music sheet. right about here. And then maybe one of these little, this is probably too big. Yeah, I'm gonna cover up the whole thing. This might be better. Let's try out a couple different ones. I think we need a few more layers behind her. So I'm gonna get some French book page. And I'm liking this. So this is pretty. Could layer up some nice things behind here. Just going to tear this down. So maybe if I keep up with my Duolingo, I'll know what these things say eventually. I've forgotten so much of what I learned of the French language. So I pretty much consider myself a beginner. Although I didn't want to start at the very beginning because I thought, you know, I tried that once a few years ago and then I got bored because I knew all of the stuff at the very beginning. But I also didn't want to call myself intermediate because that would be way too generous. But what I liked about this app, it's just asked me, you know, do you want to you know, have us place you in a level based on a few questions. I said, sure. So then that's the route I took. And so, so far that's been going really well. I'm happy with it. Okay, let's see what I can do with this. Maybe put this below and give it some continuity, like see a little bit on this side, a little bit on that side. I like how that's looking, so why don't we go with that? And I'm just going to make some space here so I can do some more gluing. And I'm using my Scotch permanent glue stick. And we'll start with this. We'll just start at the top layer and work our way down. I'm just going to put this on next. And this is coffee dyed artist paper as a base. So it's a little thicker than copy paper. I'm just going to kind of eyeball that. I want a little bit to show on that side. And then basically I just glued on there some vintage French book page and a little French label that had been inked. And then see sometimes when you use the glue stick, the edges don't stick down all the way. So then I just go in with my art glitter glue, get the edges. Okay, there we go. Then I've got to glue this down onto that. Okay. Just kind of want to see where I am. So first I'm just going to put some glue on the back of this to dot it down, make sure we've got this in place. Okay, I probably put too much glue and now it's going to be here. Yep. I didn't realize it was hanging over so far, so let me get something to clean that up with. Got it. Okay. I think there's a little bit of white acrylic paint on there from my stenciling. Maybe it's spackle. There we go. Just going to straighten that out a bit. And then I'm going to put this down. Sometimes I sew these things down and sometimes I glue them depending on what the situation is. But if I sew on the inside page, then sometimes that messes up here. I'd have the sewing, so that's why I chose not to do that. If it was the cover, I might go for the sewing. I'm just going to turn the page and get a nice blank spot here. Then I'm going to go ahead and put this down. I like to use the glue book underneath so that I can go right off the edges and not worry about getting it on my table. Okay. There we go. Then we'll work on this side. That's such pretty lace. And when I'm doing the lace, I just try to look for the larger spots where I can dot the glue on. Okay. Then we'll put this down. This has also been coffee dyed, coffee and tea. I mix my coffee and tea together usually all the time. I like the way it looks. And there's both coffee and tea mixed together. And I just get the rag for that. Okay. Turn it to a blank page, and then I will put this down on it. I love all the different textures and having, you know, these little pieces like the frayed part here from a little tear, and this is coming up. Just really adds visual interest. And I'm going to make sure that I have it folded correctly when you open it. I had a little piece of lace for this spot to find out where that went. Okay, there we have the inside part. Ooh, that looks nice. I'm very happy with that. Such a pretty mix of colors with all the different neutrals. Okay. And let's see how this is going to go. If we can put this in here. Kind of leaning toward making 2 separate ones because I really like this as a cover as well. So I think I will do that, and then we can make some pages, some signature pages. Let's see what I have along those lines. What I do like to do is have a bunch of these little booklets or signatures kind of grouped together ahead of time. So here's one that might work for this. This is a little wider. I need some wider pieces for that. So I'm going to look for some wider pieces to put inside there. Just have like a whole stack of these. Let's see what I've got. This is wider. That might be good in there. So I'll pull that out. And then we have some taller ones. You can see I just have a lot of different things. But some of these are great because I can tuck them inside. So I'll set those out. And some of these other little batches. This is nice and wide. I think that would fit well. And then I have a lot of taller, thinner ones. This is probably good. And so these are all just folded. That's kind of a nice one. This one's also a little wider. Let's try that. Let's see. We'll start building this one first. And I love these French book pages. They're so pretty. And this is a beautiful French book page that has this beautiful hand-painted flower on it. My mother does watercolor and acrylic, and I gave her a bunch of French book pages along with other backgrounds, and then she paints on them. I scan them, print them out on coffee-dyed paper, and she did this one too. Isn't that adorable? I just love it. So this is on some music page, and this is on some French. This is a really lovely digital from, I believe this is from Ruby and Pearl, French documents. And then I have some also that I printed from my private collection. I have purchased a lot of French ephemera over the years because I love it so much. So that's a fun little booklet already kind of started. So let's just put that in and see what else we could do. I kind of like this page because I really like the way it's torn along the edges and has this kind of scruffy part, and it sort of mirrors the cover. So I want to just start off with that. And then I think it would be nice to have something, you know, maybe a music page or something fun to break up all of this color. And ooh. What we could do is make a lace page too. That would be pretty. Since I have more of this lovely lace, I could make this be a book page and just sew it right in there. I think this was about the same size. So if I just keep cutting, although I kind of like that. If I make it a little less, then that would give me a nice little batch at the end. So I think this would be good. Turn it sideways, and I'm just using, and I just like to make the scissor go back and forth a little so it's not super straight. And I do want to cut up so I have enough at the end to make a little something, because I do love these edges. That's so pretty. Like that would look great as a background for a cluster. So I'm just going to keep that cut out. Then we can use that as a page. Build it up with a few vintage French book pages, coffee and tea dyed paper, French documents that have been coffee and tea dyed, some grid paper, some different coffee and tea dyed paper. This is interesting. Let's just make this into, oh, so it is just about that width. And then we'll just tear it off of the bottom. Right about here. Just kind of eyeball that. Now, I do really like these. See if there's some in here that we could use. Ooh, this is nice. This is really thin paper that I've coffee and tea dyed. So I'm going to put that somewhere in here, but not right next to this because it's too similar. Oh, that's pretty. So yes, I just like to kind of fold and randomly place papers in little batches. And then I come back and I see what I might want to add to those batches. I want a piece of pattern paper in here too. This one you can actually sort of see through. I can see the 14 peeking through. Let's see. I saw some pattern paper in here. This is also very pretty. So what I noticed here is that it is just about the right width. So I might just cut it along there. Ooh, that's a pretty one. This is a stencil I have, and I coffee and tea dye a light shade, and then I put the stencil, then I spray it, put it in the sun, and then it comes out so nice. And I love these. This also I coffee dyed, which is fun. So I think we'll take this and this. Oh, or this one. This one's even better. I love the scissors on these patterns. They're so fun. So let me see if I can just go ahead and find a good spot for these. Not so pretty. I wonder how that would look underneath. Nope. Kind of like it better with a blank canvas underneath. I think it might be really nice here, right near the lace. So we're gonna do that. I think I'm just gonna actually do it right at the bottom of the part that's stenciled. So let's take our ruler and give that a gentle rip. Okay. There we go. And then we'll need to cut this. And get that nice. I just love the way the sewing pattern paper feels in the journal. I love the color of it, love the sound of it, the way it feels. It's just so nice. Okay. Now I think there's too many pages in a row that are too short, so we need a longer page to mix that up. So I think I'll do right here, this page, so that it can be a little longer, and I don't like this border, so I'm going to chop that off. And it's funny how this is the type of border you get on the digital. It's just that little bit of white space. This is actually an original paper that I coffee dyed. Now I do think it would be a great idea to scan some of my coffee dyed papers, because I have spent a lot of time making them, and I sell them in my Etsy shop, and I think that would be nice to have some in digital form as well. So that's on my list, my to-do list. Do you have a to-do list? I love putting things on my to-do list, but what I like about it also is I do tend to eventually get them done. So it takes a long time sometimes, but there's such a feeling of satisfaction when I do get them done. I just want to see if I have a few more booklets of that size. I do. So here's a nice little stash, and this is how I like to work, is having these groupings of similar sized papers so that I can then pull things from there. And I'm really liking these. Let's see. This might be nice. I could put in here to make it wider, and this will also have a pocket, which is nice. So let's do that. I'm just kind of sizing it here, and I'm going to tear this. So sometimes I like to have the pages, you know, all different sizes, poking out the top and the bottom, and I think those are really fun too. But right now I'm just kind of feeling this one is being a little more uniform. So that's what I'm going for here. There'll be more lace on this side. I might put a cluster here. Let's just see. Here's one of the clusters I made recently. Just a bunch of coffee and tea dyed fabric. Just, you know, arranged in a little grouping. And then this is a little piece of applique that I coffee dyed and put up there. So that's kind of fun. Just another cover that I was making recently. So I might do something like that up here. And then we'll have lace on the side, and I think that's going to be just a stunning cover. And then I'll put something here. Still thinking about something like this, like how that looks. And then we have our page of lace, And this came out so nice. Just take a little look through here. I love all the different, see, this is really thin paper. And then just a lot of different eclectic papers grouped in here. Several with the French theme because I do love the French theme. And oh, I know what we need is some music page. We're missing some lovely music page. What did I just do with that music paper? Here. And I have a page that looks just about the right size that we ripped the other part from. So let's see if we can make this into a nice sized paper. Beautiful. Okay, so the other thing I think would look great in here is some piano roll paper. So let me grab that. So I purchased this piano roll paper from a shop on Etsy. It came in this lovely box. And it says here, Mighty Blue, Mighty Blue, copyright 1925. So you see that, and this is the beautiful piano roll, and I've already taken quite a bit of it off of here. I don't know how long it is because I haven't actually unrolled the whole thing, but it's just so lovely, and it has blue writing on the side. Okay. But you can see how incredibly rolly it is. So what I do is I take a piece off, estimate the size of journals that I usually will use it in, and then I fold it and put it in between two placemats, and then I spray it lightly with water so it comes out like this. Otherwise, it was just way too rolly, and I couldn't control it. So it was actually one of my viewers that gave me that hint a long time ago, and I love it. I was so happy. So I put this is just from the dollar store. I have several of these. I just put one down, put the piano roll paper there, and I just fold it into these, sizes that I tend to use. I make a lot of tall, skinny journals. But I think I will use this one. We'll just cut it down. And then I put another one of these on top after I spray it with a little water. And this is how nice it comes out. Just very, very happy to learn that tip. So I'm going to just kind of put this. Now, my question is, do I want the blue or not? I think I will not put the blue words in. I'll just kind of leave it like that. And we'll get a size there. I'll just trim it along here. And then I have this for another little journal, which is just a perfect little size. I'll set that off to the side. And let's see where to put this. I love the wow factor of this. You turn the page and you just go, wow. These are lovely. Kind of think it might look nice in here. Let's take a peek. Ooh, yeah, I like that a lot. So coming along, and then we have all of these different colors and lengths and sizes, or widths, I should say. And that looks so pretty. Yeah, I love that. So perfect spot. So I think that's great for today. This was so fun. I hope you had a nice time crafting along with me and just getting started with all of these pages. And I think I will be adding more pages. And then I'll come back on again and we'll do some tags and cards, ephemera, and clusters, and see what else we want to put in here. Okay, so I just love these images. Again, this is what inspired me to do some crafting today. This was the Eternal Guardians from Tailor Made Journals at the shop. Just looking for the other one that we started, which is, so I'm going to actually have 2 journals with this theme going on, which I am so excited about. And look at that. I just love it. And I put a bunch of papers in between, but these are great inside covers. And then we'll do something on the back. I might be able to, ooh, that would be pretty. Probably just, you know, cut it down or tear it. All of these are just gorgeous. Any one of those would look lovely on the back. So thank you so much for watching today, and I will definitely be doing more in these journals. And just check out Lorna's beautiful Eternal Guardians kit. All right, thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.